Okay, good evening guys and girls, welcome back to FTRL. We are here tonight for the Performance Championship, round number 11, so it's the penultimate round of the season, and we are live in Spain for what is proving to be a very, very close championship. At the moment we have still got 5 drivers in contention of winning this championship, and as far as championships go, this has been one of the closest we've ever had. So currently on board with this man, Panini, or Pagani as we know him, who is top of the championship by 9 points. He's on 85 and he is 9 points ahead of Remco, who is in second place. FTRL Panda is in third, joint on points with Chicken Guy. Panda not here this evening, unfortunately, due to some PlayStation trouble. And Dutch Tricks a further 6 points behind. So those are the guys to watch out for tonight. And I'm sure you'll enjoy the ride just as much as I will. So on board with Pagani, he's going to begin his flying lap, I believe. Apologies for the problem with the other stream. The game decided to crash on me, which was always delightful. So yeah, tricky circuit Spain, very technical. I know Pagani's not the biggest fan of it, and McLaren, he might struggle a little bit, but I'm sure he's going to give it his all. Currently out on the medium tyres. Just getting himself a banker lap in, I think. Run a little bit wide. The second you make a mistake in Spain, that can be as good as game over in terms of your qualifying laps. So let's see what he can do coming through this middle sector. I do apologise if there's a couple of quiet moments. I'm just trying to organise the stream. Got Goy Carp and Ravers in there saying evening, and come on Agent Panda, and Agent Panda to win. That would be the dream. His form's certainly improved recently, so fingers crossed he can get himself another good points finish. Fastest lap so far is by one of our debutant, who is Stocky. He's done the 118.2. He's in the Red Bull this evening. He did that on the super soft tyre. So his teammate for the Night Academy is half a second behind on the soft tyre, so he's on a harder compound. Goy Carp saying Asian Panda to claim all 3 podium positions, and Ravers hand to DNF as well. Well, that would be a miracle, but we've seen many strange things happen in this league. So Pagani must have invalidated his first lap. Dutch Tricks in the Sauber tonight. He's having some wheel problems, so let's see how much that hinders him tonight. But this guy that we're on board with now is 1 point away from retaining the Division 1 championship, and as I say that, he decides to spin into the gravel. So thank you very much to you, Dutch. Let's go on board with a consistent driver, which is Blue Flag, who runs wide. So yeah, Matt Cause, I'm trying to sort of trick myself into going on board with somebody who normally makes a mistake, but hopefully they won't. Matt Cause in the Haas, very, very close to promotion to Division 1, much like he was last season until he bottled it. And let's see what he can do in the Haas this evening. Fingers crossed he can have a good result. He's been a bit inconsistent in the Old Performance Championship, started the season very well. I imagine we're going to see a few penalties tonight and a few mistakes as well. We've got Pete in the chat saying hashtag Team Ravers. Yeah, I mean, you can jump on board on that bandwagon, mate, if you want to. Ravers isn't obviously racing, but because he's not good enough to get into the Performance Division. Even though there's only 14 drivers tonight, Ravers still isn't good enough to get into the Performance League. So I think that says it all, really. But nevertheless, announcement to make. So obviously, with his season coming to a very fast conclusion, we've been recruiting for new drivers for the new season, and I'm absolutely delighted to announce that Pete and Don, who are constantly in our stream supporting Ravers and FTRL in general, will be joining us in Division 2 next season, and that's probably the happiest I've been in terms of FTRL for a very long time when I found out that today. So Pete and Don, welcome to FTRL officially, and I genuinely wish you all the best, and whatever happens, you'll never be as bad as Goy. So you've got nothing to worry about, lads. Can't wait to see what you can do next year on track. It's going to be tough, but looking forward to it. Anyway, right, back to the action. So far, quite a mixed variation of tyres. Obviously, a lot of the guys are going to be coming out and sitting banker laps. You're very welcome, Pete. Very excited indeed, mate. So Plexit's on the medium tyres. Obviously, picking up that stunning pole and win in USA on Monday for Division 1. Has taken that championship fight down to the wire. But he needs to replicate what he did last week and hope that Dutch just has a very, very, very rare off day for him to have any chance of winning it. But Plexit's still a very underrated driver in my opinion. He's if it wasn't for Dutch, I think Plexit would be up there on a pedestal on his own. But unfortunately, he's just come up against a driver who's just in ridiculously good form at the moment. But he's been a credit to himself and to the league recently. And even though he lost out marginally last season, and it looks like he's probably going to do the same again this season, he's been extremely positive about it and gone about everything in the right way. So I can only wish the boy success. And I'm sure we're looking at a future champion with Plexit. Crest in the Sauber tonight. Obviously, after him picking up the win last week, he absolutely dominated Baku. So let's see what he can do in the Sauber alongside Pagani tonight. Expecting a good result from Chicken Guy. He's in the Toro Rosso and he might not qualify too well, but in the race he always seems to do very well in performance. A lot of these guys are pretty much performance specialist drivers, I think, sometimes. They seem to excel. Whoa. That little kink left curb there on that uphill part is an absolute killer for pretty much every single driver. Crest has taken evasive action, balled out of his lap. Let's go on board with Dutch and see if he can string a lap together this time without spinning. Okay. Like I said, very technical circuit is Spain. We've seen a lot of casualties, and tyre temperatures can be a problem around here as well, depending on your setup. So obviously with the realistic car performance in this division, it might hopefully cancel that out slightly. Now, is he going to make the same mistake? He lifts off a bit more sensibly this time. Don's in here as well. Thanks for the warm welcome, mate. Also looking forward to an early prediction. I'm going to win the league first go or finish last. I don't think you'll be last. That will always be Goy. Always. I can't stress that enough. It's almost like Everton. Just, you know you're going to get mediocrity with him. It's exactly the same with Goy. You know he's going to be last. So I wouldn't worry too much, mate. But no, like I said to Pete, absolutely delighted that you're on board with us, and can't wait to have you on the grid, in the chats and whatever else. So a proper warm welcome to you, buddy. And Japan is saying thanks, guys. Very, very happy. Keep the comments coming in. Give me some company this evening, because like I said, I'm sat here on my own doing this as per normal. Right, Remco. I'm expecting a lot from Remco tonight. Pagani could potentially win this championship tonight if he well, I mean, he would need other results to go in his favour drastically, but he's 9 points clear, and anything can happen. You can win the championship, Pagani. Effectively, you can. If you win and the other guy's DNF, you never know. I very much doubt that will happen in terms of them DNFing, not the fact that you might win one. Right, so let's have a quick look. So at the moment, Stocky is on pole. Let's have a look at the interval time. So Plexit's just shy of 2 tenths off of pole on the softer tyre, on the harder tyre, should I say. Katami's still currently in third, half a second of his teammate. Dutch is in P4, and Hammer Time 95, the only people to be within a second of the current pole time. Then we've got Matt Cause and Blue Flag both in the Haas cars, quite a similar lap time. Agent Panda sitting in P8, so he's currently out qualifying the championship leader. Don't need to say any more. Quest down in P10, Chicken Guy outside at the moment in P11. City Posh Blue has retired, so I imagine he will start last on the grid. So I reckon Remco and Michael C will get within 4 seconds of pole. But he'll be in the Renault, so he'll be one to watch. I think we will see a few casualties tonight. We've had quite a few yellow flags so far in qualifying. Remco on no ERS again, so he must be either invalidating or he's really trying to put some temperature into those tyres. Is anybody on a flying lap? Matt Cause? Matt Cause is on a flying lap, taken on board of him. Yeah, this little left kink here, a lot of people tend to avoid it, but you do lose a lot of time doing that. You can basically ride it and just lift off the accelerator as you go over it, and it doesn't normally kick you out. It's only if you accelerate on the curb that you'll get a bit of a kick. Team Peak Man. Okay, Matt Cause currently goes 4th, so he jumps Dutch Tricks. He's on the soft tyre as well. That's a very good time from Matt Cause. I can't imagine he'll stay there. I think some of the guys will jump him, but nevertheless, he'll be starting on the middle tyre for this evening. So good luck to you, Mr. Matt Cause. Right, Pagani. Agent Panda, actually, let's have a look at him. He's currently in the pits. Pagani is on an out lap, I believe. Cress is on a flying lap, just come to the end of Sector 2. Let's see how... Yeah, he still gets a bit of a kick. There's a bit more consistent that time. Dutch can still do the double of Div 1 performance. Yeah, that is true. That's a very good point, Ravers. Also, to everybody watching this evening, we have a Season 9 preview video coming out very, very soon. It will reveal the calendar for next season for the main divisions, and also give you an ever so slight hint as to what could replace Performance. Obviously, this is the second to last race of Performance for the indefinite future. We may decide to bring it back one day, but we are very, very excited about what is to replace Performance next season. So more news will be out within the final week, well, the final part of this week, should I say. Just reading Michael's comment. My console shut down now. I can have some fun and fight through the field as much as I can. Well, I mean, you can try, you know, but we've all seen your driving, Michael. Just joking. Right, well, Stocky is absolutely flying at the moment. 1:17.4 is the exact second quicker than Plexit's. Cress taking the alternative line down that straight. That's a very odd thing to do. Yeah, Stocky's probably going to put it on pole, and with that sort of pace, I'm thinking he probably should not be in a Red Bull. But it's always the thing with new drivers. You never know whether they're going to be really quick or really slow or somewhere in between. So you kind of have to go by what you've got available, and the Red Bull was available, or the Williams. So I think it made sense to stick him in a Red Bull and see what he could do. Team Hattori, Japan's premium racing racer and samurai sword maker, if you know your film characters. Nice, like it. Like it. Right, Pete and Don, also you should download an app called Discord, because that's where all of our FTRL chats happen. So we'll get you boys in there, ready for the season ahead, because all of the announcements are becoming thick and fast in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. Failing that, just drop me a message on PlayStation, and or get Ravers to message me or whatnot. Got it, mate. Fantastic. If you could, I'm just trying to figure out. We'll sort it out afterwards. But anyway, if you can send me a message on PlayStation, it's FTRL__Aaron, and I will get you boys set up with an invite and so on. Right, Catami's is retired. Plexits is currently in P2. Dutch has just jumped Plexits and got into P2, and that is not good news for Pagani. But nevertheless, we still have a whole race to go. Asian Panda in P9 absolutely smashed it. Let's give you a final rundown of the classifications for qualifying. So we've got Stocky on pole on his debut of an FTRL. He's got pole by just shy of 7 tenths. So I think we can see what way the theme of this race is going to go tonight. Dutch Tricks just out qualifying Plexits, as it tends to happen in Division 1 quite a lot as well. So Plexits will be frustrated, although Plexits is on a harder tyre. The top two, actually, the only two on the super soft. The rest of the field on the softs. And we've got Matt Cause in 4th place. Katame's in 5th, a blue flag alongside him, so good session from him. Hammer Time 95 in 7th, Remco in P8, Agent Panda in P9, so great job from him. Chicken Guy only 1,000th of a second slower in P10. And then I know we have City Posh, Michael C, Pagani, and somebody else who I can't remember. Just outside the top 10, I think it might have been Cress. So it looks very cloudy to me. We could see some changing conditions here tonight, gentlemen, as the drivers are preparing themselves. Blue flag was sorting Aaron on the Discord. Fantastic. Cool. Right, keep those comments coming in. Grandad Bob. Oh, he's here. Good evening, Grandad. Nice of you to jump in and join us. Miss you very much, mate. But thank you for coming back in. And for those that are wondering, that genuinely is my granddad. So back here showing his support. I'm sure he will pick a driver just from their names on the left hand side and support them like he normally does. Let us know who you're supporting tonight, Grandad, and I'll keep you informed as to what's going on. But the drivers are just finishing, getting themselves prepared for this race. I reckon there's going to be some rain at some stage. I 100% think there's going to be some rain. But yeah, give us your tips, guys, in the chat. Who do we think is going to be in pole? In P1, P2 and P3 on the podium tonight. Pagani saying nice to see you back in the chat to my granddad. Oh, nice bit of bonding. Ravers in there. Ravers, stop flirting with my granddad, please. I've warned you about this before. Anyway, right, Stocky is going to start Catalunya on pole position in the Red Bull tonight. I can see that being the theme, and I have a feeling he's going to run away with this evening. But nevertheless, a good strong showing on his debut. Then we've got Dutch Trick starting in P2, the reigning Division 1 champion. Yet to win a performance race this season. He's had a couple of second places and a couple of absences, but other than that, he's finishing the points every other race. So I'm sure we'll get that same consistency from him. Then we've got Plexits in P3, only just come into the performance division. So he's only actually raced a couple of times, but nevertheless, hopefully he will see this out for the rest of the season. And we've got Matt Cause in P4, currently down in 12th in the championship. He seems to get a points finish, then DNF, points finish, DNF, and so on. That's been his form for the season. Katame's in P5, just 1 point ahead of Matt Cause in the championship. Actually, there is a very, very, very close battle going from P8 down to P17 in the championship. And there's only 8 points between them, and Katame's and Matt Cause well within that fight. As is Blue Flag, 8th in the championship. Got himself on the podium once this season, a couple of DNFs, but nevertheless, very consistent performer. Then we've got Hammer Time 95, missed most of the season, but the one race he has finished, he came second. So let's see how he gets on. Remco, second in the championship. He's going to need a very good performance tonight to have any chance of this championship. Then we've got Agent Panda, who is on 6 points for the championship this season, currently on level points with Tim 12. So there we go. Then we've got Chicken Guy in P10, 4th in the championship, 12 points off the lead. Then the reigning leader of the championship, Pagani, on 85 points, down in P11. Again, yet to win this in this championship. And we've got Crest, City Posh and Michael C rounding off the grid. But as we prepare for lights out in Spain, I imagine we're going to see some rain very soon. The 14 drivers, any retirements will be crucial. So let's keep an eye on what happens and watch the drama unfold. We are 4-5 red lights in Spain for round 11 of the championship. And it is lights out and away we go. It looks like Stocky's had a very good start. Plexus is immediately under pressure. There's a Sauber off in the background, which is Cress. But Dutch Tricks is going to try and shoot to the inside. Is he going to take a lunge? No. But Matt Cause gives Plexus a little shove, which allows Katame's to go through. Couple of guys off in the background. Pagani's made up 2 places already. Could be 3 in a second with the Force India of Hammer Time 95 there. He's going to have the inside line, is Pagani. Let's see if he can make this move stick. Oh, Hammer Time 95's round. And Pagani has hit him, but I don't think he's lost any wing. I think he's safe. Yeah, no, he hasn't lost any wing, which is good. Katami's putting Dutch Tricks under some serious pressure at the start of lap 1 in the Red Bull, so I imagine Katami's will get past very soon. Agent Panda's dropped down 5 positions and he's currently sitting in last place. It's never nice to see for Agent Panda. Any potential moves? Remco's looking very, very close at Pagani, but Pagani's got past again. Pagani's made up 4 positions on lap 1. He's absolutely flying. That's certainly a statement. Blue flag. His Division 2 teammate. Are we going to see any sort of... Sorry, I was just reading something on my phone. Yeah, we're going to see blue flag. Be nice and friendly to Pagani and let him through without too much of a hassle, as he knows he's on course to win this championship potentially. Any sort of friendly team orders going to happen. Marcus or Chicken Guy is up to P9, but the biggest loser so far, Hammer Time 95 down 4, Agent Panda down 5. And the biggest profit so far are Pagani and Michael C, both up 4 positions. I mean, we've got City Posh Blue having a look at Hammer Time 95. That's going to be a scrap. I think Hammer Time might have a little bit of damage. City Posh back down the inside gets that move done very nicely indeed. But Katami's is still right on the back of Dutch Tricks. He's going to have a bit more grip as this first stint goes on. Dutch on the super softs, Katami's on the softs. Katami's lining up a potential move, going down into the hairpin, switches to the inside, Dutch locks up. Good driving. Very nice driving indeed. Grandad saying Plexits is my choice, so Grandad going for the Dutchie. Picking Plexits, not necessarily a bad decision. He certainly knows his stuff, but Slocky's got a 2-second lead so far. Going to take an onboard of Plexits down into turn 1. I've just seen your message there, Don. I thought you were saying you want to punch my granddad in the face then for a minute. That's I was going to say we might have to revoke your insertion to the league. But no, you punch Ravers all you want, that's no problem. Right, Katami's and Dutch going side by side. Dutch runs wide, Katami's gets through. So we've currently got a Red Bull 1-2. We've not seen that for some time. Thought Dutch was about to have an off then. Plexit's putting Dutch under some pressure. I feel like this is going to be a theme for the evening, that Dutch might struggle a little bit in that Sauber, but knowing him, he will give it absolutely everything he's got. Right, we've got Remco, going to be... He's in DRS range of Pagani, but he's a little bit too far back as it currently stands. Pagani running onto the grass here. We've got yellow in sector 3. That is FTRL blue flag. What has happened to him? He's had a moment. Maybe just got down on the traction a little bit too early. Or he's touched the outside curb and it's thrown him off a little bit. It's not going to be the best thing for him. I don't think we've got any damage though, which is probably the best result or best outcome of that. Plexits having a look up the inside of Dutch Tricks into turn 1. Going to go around the outside. Plexits does get a bit of run, but Dutch covers him off nicely. 2 Dutchies going head to head. Plexits running off. Starting to see a few... Is that a few drops of rain I can see? If not, I think it's going to be very close. Fabulous driving from these two. Oh, Plexits going for a little switchback. Oh, that could have been a lovely move. Well, here we go. Yeah, Katami's is running off, as is Stocky. So the Red Bulls look comfortable at this moment in time. Oh, Plexis having a good look at Dutch there, but Dutch again covers him off nicely. Matt Kors has joined the back of this battle as well. The Danish driver in the Haas. Much like Kevin Magnussen, and probably as liked as Kevin Magnussen, which is not a lot for those that don't know. I imagine Plexits is going to have the move done here. Dutch has had a bit of a slide out as well. Plexits has got the run. This should 100% be a move from Plexits. Heading down the straight, down in towards turn 1. Dutch will have the inside line, but Plexits probably just a little bit too much pace. Covers off Dutch nicely. Got the inside for turn 2. Dutch with a little switchback. No, fantastic driving. Plexits up to P3. And Matt Caw's taking a look now. So Dutch could potentially lose 2 positions. Now, how patient is Matt Caw's going to be? He looks fairly composed at this moment in time. Keep those comments coming in, gentlemen. Oh, we've got a little bit of argy-bargy. Matt Caw's and Dutch going to go side by side, are they? No, Matt Caw's pulls out. Pagani is currently holding off the 2 Toro Rosso drivers. To be honest, that's all he needs to do tonight, or stay as close to them as possible. I don't believe Remco can make the final race of the season, so if he's going to do anything in this championship, it needs to be tonight. Little train forming. Michael C, City Posh, Remco. Wow, there's a huge train behind Pagani, who's closing very quickly up to the back of Matt Caw's as well. We're getting a little bit of deja vu from the performance race in Hungary, where we had this almighty train. Who is that? He's gone into the pits. That is Dutch already on the super soft tyres. I can only imagine this is going to be a 2-stop now. Chicken guy run off into the background there in the gravel, but Pagani, is he going to hold off Remco? Yes, he is. Let's go and see what else is going on. Let's go on board with Remco for a moment. Also, I will be vaping tonight, as it's performance. It's more of the relaxed league out of the 3. Yeah, Remco is looking very racy behind Pagani, but Pagani just seems to be controlling it in all the right areas at the moment. What tyres has Dutch gone on? If it's super soft, then rain is coming. Good point, Ravers. Dutch has gone to the medium tyres, so maybe no rain after all. With how dark those clouds are, I thought we were definitely going to see some rain. Maybe we will towards the end of the race, because I doubt those mediums will last until the end. Well, Pagani has pulled out quite a bit of time to Remco, and he's now on the back of Matt Gore, so Pagani is looking very racy indeed. Having to lift off quite a lot through there, as he's lost a bit of time to Matt Gore's. Yeah, Remco gained about 3 tenths on him just because he had to lift through that bit. Agent Panda gone onto the super soft tyres again, so interesting call from him. You know, I still think we're going to see some rain, you know. Thought the hard tyre was at Spain. No, it's not. It's super soft and medium. It was hard on the on last year's game. Well, Katamies, I have missed that, but he's caught up and passed Stocky. So the Finnish driver who's found a little bit of form recently, got himself a P5 in Russia in Division 1 last week. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Not too sure who that is, but blue flag after his spin has found himself 12 seconds behind City Posh Blue. He's still in the points, but not the ideal scenario for him, it must be said. Let's go and see what's going on. I think we're going to focus a lot of the attention tonight on this battle between Pagani and Remco, with it being the championship battle. Maybe Supersoft's overheating, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me with how bad the tyre temps get around here. City Posh Blue is very close to Michael C. We will keep an eye on that as well. Rovers, will you be partaking in some gaming this evening, my friend? Please do let us know. Also, any hashtag ask the commentators. Or ask the commentator, whatever you like. Feel free to ask me some questions, FTRL related, non-FTRL related. I don't mind. When I'm in a commentary booth on my own, it's quite hard sometimes. Well, Stocky has gone into the pits. He's on a super soft tyre. I imagine he will stick on a set of mediums because he should be able to take those to the end without any problem. Stocky, yep, medium tyres. So I can't envisage us having any rain anytime soon. But all of the field now, Agent Panda has pitted and gone into the mediums, so he'll be looking to go to the end as well. No retirements yet. I've done the Ravers Revenge curse, and I have said it. Soon we have a message from Don in the chat as well. Just so you know, enjoying your commentary, explaining stuff really well for newbies like me. Good stuff, thanks. My pleasure, mate. I'm normally a bit more excited and enthusiastic than this, but I'm extremely tired today. Extremely tired, and I wasn't expecting to be doing the commentary, so normally I prepare a few bits and bobs. But what I can promise you is a Cockney accent and quite a boring tone. So, commentator questions, your feelings on Brexit, or you feelings on Brexit? Well, the only thing I hope Brexit brings is spelling lessons for you, Goy. That would make the world a better place. That's my answer to that question. No, in all seriousness, you'll do well to find someone who gives less of a shit about Brexit than me. That's my comment of the day. That is my true answer to that question. My granddad, on the other hand, is probably frothing at the mouth at the thought of talking about Brexit because he loves a bit of politics, says old granddad Bob. Right, anyway, enough about Brexit, because Remco is going up the inside of Pagani. Yeah, he got that done. Oh, Pagani. Oh, hello. Hello. Pagani fighting back. Nice driving from those two. I think they might be in a party together as well, so that's always good to see. Actually didn't make a spelling mistake. You said you feelings on Brexit, Guy, not your feelings. You're about as good at spelling as Matt Cause is talking to girls. And that is really bad. Oh dear. City Posh Blue lost a bit of wing on the back of Chicken Guy. So that Renault is not going to be feeling good. Although I imagine he could probably pit now, go onto the medium tyres and pretty much get away with that. He'd be looking to pit fairly soon anyway. Ask Comms, how many DNFs has this race had so far? 0. That's a genuine fact. City Posh is into the pits. Nice lock up. Pagani having a look back at Remco. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 1 later on the brakes? Remco covers him off nicely. Feather in the throttle is Pagani. Can have the inside line, but Remco covers that nicely. That was, yeah, very good defensive driving. And Chicken Guy is right on the back of this battle. There we go, DNF incoming. Chicken Guy, always very impressive in the Performance League. A yellow in Sector 2. Who is that? Is that Agent Panda moving out of the way? That is Agent Panda, yes. There we go. Doing a bit of charity work. Don't retire, Agent Panda. No. Don't retire. Please don't retire. Oh, my heart is genuinely broken. Agent Panda, we've lost him. There we go. We're going to see. We've got 3 admins fighting here: Remco, Pagani, and Chicken Guy. Chicken Guy's just at the back of Pagani. Remco's gone into the pits. I think Chicken Guy wanted to go in them. I don't think he's got any damage from that. Told you, always works. Yeah, thank you, Ravers. Question for the room. I'm going to ask a question to you guys. Who do we think is going to win this Performance Championship? Bear in mind that Remco, Pagani, Chicken Guy, Dutch are all of the contenders, because Panda is not here tonight, so he's going to lose out. It's a grammatical error. It is, Goy. That's very true. But there's a lot of blistering on Chicken Guy's tyres here. Pagani needs a very, very strong lap. He needs to put a serious shift in, because Remco has pitted a lap earlier, and I imagine Pagani's going to go in very soon. And on that note, he's just picked himself up a time penalty, but that won't be the last. Raver saying Pagani to win. Chicken Guy running wide. Let's have a look at what Pagani's running in fuel wise. He's only in low ERS mode. Bit of a German themed helmet. So I've kind of changed my opinions on Pagani in the last 5 seconds. Hammer time 95 on the back of Remco. Could cause him some problems here in DRS. There we go, the top two are pitted. Katamies and Plexits. And Matt Cause is pitted as well. We're going to see Pagani follow him into the pits. No, we don't. Interesting. I mean, they wouldn't have stacked. But yeah, interesting call from Pagani. Maybe he feels comfortable at this moment in time. Blue flag into the pits. Where's Dutch? He comes out just ahead of Matt Cause, but he's quite some way behind Plexits. So Plexits has really pulled out a gap. He's currently net P3 in this race. Stocky has retaken the lead. He's got a second advantage to Katamies, but Katamies is on the softer tyre. So that's going to be a Katamies 2-stop. I would imagine. I'm pretty sure he started on the softs, did Cat? But Pagani, 6 seconds in the lead. Let's have a look at the... Yeah, so he's going to come out if he needs to pit this lap. Otherwise, he's going to lose out to Remco and Chicken Guy. But that is very, very close. Look at that. From Matt Cause down to Chicken Guy. It is looking very spicy indeed. Let's go to the battle of the Red Bulls. Wasn't meant to be today. Unlucky, Agent Panda. It's a shame to see, mate. But Pagani stayed out again. Struggling to know what Pagani's thought process is here. I know he started outside the top 10, so his tyres are going to be a little bit fresher, but he's going to be losing time rapidly. Not too sure what his thought process is, but can't fault the man. He's top of the championship. Well, Hammer Time 95 has pitted, so Remco's pulled away a little bit, but Chicken Guy's not really gaining any time on Pagani here. Katamies on a 2-stop. We've got stop go penalty. Yeah, good point. Now, are we going to see a Pagani pit stop this lap? I think we might. Katamies. Oh dear, that's a dive. He's gone for the Willy Tix dive bomb. Hopefully there's no contact between the teammates here. Katamies doesn't need to fight him. There's a straight coming up with a lot of DRS. That's a corner cut from Katamies. Stocky's had a good exit there though. He might be able to hold him off. Pagani's into the bits. Hammer Time 95 has retired. Not too sure why or how. But Pagani is in the pits. Where is Remco? Let's keep an eye. There's a side-by-side battle going on between Dutch Tricks and Matt Cause. Where is Pagani? He's coming out the pits. Where is Remco? He is ahead. And where is Chicken Guy? Going to end up with this one as well. Pagani's going to just cover him off, or Chicken Guy going to run the outside here. This could be a beautiful move. That is a fantastic move from Chicken Guy. Up into P7, so Pagani has his work cut out now. We've still got 18 laps of this race to go. So for the next 25 minutes, I want to say. It's shaping up to be quite a nice race. Catamies has got past Stocky, and he's got a 1 second advantage now. So Catamies is going to be quicker at this stage, but Stocky hasn't got to stop again. Catamies does, and he does have a 5 second stop go. So as it stands, I think Stocky's on course to win this race. So it wouldn't be the worst debut for him. But they are looking racy, the two Red Bulls. Let's hope there's no contact. Well, Cress is going to have to pit again at some stage. Dutch might have to pit again. In fairness, he's done 10 laps already and there's still 17 laps to go. He's going to do well to take those tyres 27 laps. Other than that, and obviously Catamies, other than that, nobody else should need to pit. Stocky's in DRS range. Pagani's very close to Chicken Guy. He's hunting that chicken. Michael C, 3 second time penalty. Pagani taking a very late lunge. That's going to be a corner cut as well. Pagani's trying to be aggressive tonight by the looks of things. He wants to win this championship and I can't blame him. There we go, Stocky down the inside. And he regains the race lead. Catamies has had quite a nice run on the exit, but Stocky's covered him off well. Oh dear. There we go. Catamies needs to slow down and give back that position, in my opinion. Silly move. Very, very silly move. Just pushed him, but there we go. Pagani's by Chicken Guy. I did not mean for that to rhyme. I apologise for my lyrical genius. No, if I was Catamies in that position, I mean, I don't think there was any intention in the incident, but it looked like he just got a little bit too close to the back of Stocky and didn't lift off when he should have done, but he probably should have given that position back, in my opinion. Plexit's only 4 seconds behind this as well, so the more these two scrap, it's going to bring him into this, and we all know what Plexit's can do. Pagani is covered off Chicken Guy at this moment in time. A lot of battery as well, and now he's got to gain 3 seconds to Remco, so we'll keep an eye on that very, very soon. Look like a bit of desync, yeah, maybe. Maybe there was a touch of desync involved, but the way it stands, they'll both be in a podium interview tonight. Lost a rear of no attempts into the mediums. Unlucky, mate. Very, very unlucky. Sorry to see you retire tonight. Other than that, there's not really any battles going on at this moment. I think we'll stand board with this battle for the lead. Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if Dutch doesn't pit again. So, if anything, that's going to promote the guys, Remco, Pagani, Chicken Guy and so on, up the field. Wing damage that one, yeah, saw that. Yeah, unlucky tonight, mate. Well, Pagani has pulled out a 1 second gap to Chicken Guy, who seems to be struggling a little bit, and Pagani's only really gained a couple of temps on Remco. So Pagani needs to go into full Pagani mode. Remco with a little bit less battery than Pagani. Nevertheless, 14 laps to go. There is absolutely nothing to watch. Crest picks up a 3 second time penalty. Pagani, I imagine, is very close to another one. Crest has had a massive spin, lost half of his wing, and it's not going to be race over for Crest just yet. which is good to see. Well, Remco is going to be fighting Dutch tricks very soon, and Pagani's maintaining gap, so that will probably lure Pagani in by a couple of seconds. We know he's got a time penalty. Yeah, this is the closest battle on track, so we're probably going to have to stay with this one for now. For what is quite a short circuit, it's not really delivering a particularly close race at this moment in time. Nevertheless, let's take it on board with Remco as he heads down the back straight. Dutch with a tiny lock-up. Lovely track to drive is Spain. I think we might do an on-board for a lap. I'll try my best to do a bit of a hot lap commentary on it. So, opens up the DRS to begin lap number 20 of 33 of this race. Reaching over 200 miles an hour down towards the straight. Can he get to 205? No, he's going to get to 202. Down to 4th gear. And you want to just ride that inside curb, not touch it too much, otherwise you lose the back end. Swing the car out so you get a better run up the inside of the fast sweeping right. And then hammer down up to 8th gear, up to 180 miles an hour. Rides the curb on the outside. Drops down to 4th. Nice bit of traction on exit. If you turn in too much, you will lose the back end in quite a bit of time there. And drop it down to 3rd. You want to kiss the outside curb, which he doesn't do. But nice early upshift, which is going to bring him a little bit closer into Dutch. Then you want to go as wide as possible into this corner. Kiss that inside curb so you get a better exit on the right hand curb to the uphill right. And as we slingshot around, Remco runs wide. It's imperative to clip that inside right curb, otherwise you will run wide out of that corner. DRS down towards the hairpin. Decides to take it in 3rd. Normally 2nd's the better gear choice, but it's going to be better on his tyres. Doesn't ride that inside kink as they go up the hill. And then down towards the final little sector here, which is quite tricky. Drops down to 3rd. Does an upshift to 4th. You don't want to kiss that sort of bumper curb, otherwise the car will spin you out. And then on the exit of the final corner, Remco runs pretty wide, hits the gravel. And that is the lap of the Catalonia Grand Prix done. But he's got DRS. Dutch moves very, very late to the inside to defend him off. Blue Phoenix in the chat. Good evening, mate. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, thought this might happen. So Remco fighting with Dutch. Pagani's gained half a second. And he's going to be licking his lips. Stocky is maintaining gap to Katamis. Katamis is going to have to pit again, 100%. Dutch looks very wobbly in front of him. He's struggling quite a bit in that Sauber. Remco with the hammer down. Pagani can see this battle unfolding in front of his eyes. He's down to 2.4 seconds now. So he's taken another 4 attempts out of him this lap. Pagani needs to capitalise on this battle as quickly as possible. I reckon we're going to see a pit stop from Katamis, maybe lap 26, 27, something like that. Going to go on to super softs to the end, but that's going to cost him, I think, in this race. But Remco in DRS range now, up into overtake on the ERS. Dutch stays to the outside this time. He's not going to fight him too much. Remco had to be very, very late on the brakes there, but he does cover him off. Chris gets himself a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane, and he retires from the session. Shame to see, but you can't blame him in this situation. Right, Pagani's 2.2 seconds behind Dutch, who we think may have to pit again. Be very impressive if he doesn't. So, with Remco probably not being able to race next week, Pagani's doing what he needs to and just covering off Chicken Guy, and Dutch will probably end up behind him as well. So, damage limitation for Pagani and that McLaren, but he'll probably end the season in a reasonably good car. Let's go and check in with Michael, see what he's doing in that Force India. was saying in the chat before the race started that he's looking forward to fighting back through the field, but it's not exactly gone to plan. Blue flag, lurking 3 seconds behind after his earlier spin. He's not going to be particularly pleased with that. Stocky has got down to 2 temps behind Catamies now. So Cat's had a wobble somewhere. Chicken Guy's picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. The 2 Red Bulls are fighting for P1. Yes, they are, mate. Thank you. Yeah, it was just over a second, and all of a sudden it went down to 2 temps. Oh, Dutch has gone back past Remco. So that is very good news for the McLaren driver. I imagine we'll see that time close down between Pagani and Remco. Keep an eye on that. Remco looking back at him now. He gets a bit of a slingshot out the corner, but Dutch got better traction. Pagani 1.9 seconds behind now. And dropping significantly. Remco late on the brakes. Oh, I thought he was going to go to the back of Dutch there. Coming down towards the final little chicane. Remco seems to get a pretty good exit, but slides the back end out. Pagani 1.4, he's nearly in DRS range. The 2 Red Bulls at the top fighting as well, but we're going to see what unfolds with this. And City Posh is on the back of Chicken Guy as well, so the battles are starting to unfold. Let's go and see the City Posh fight. Catamies 3-second time penalty, so he's got that stop go as well, so that's not going to benefit him too much. Oh, City Posh is round, and bang, there goes his front wing. Did very well not to lose a tyre there, but he's spinning round as well. That is race over for City Posh Blue. I think we might see a retirement here, or is he going to carry on? Yeah, he's just trying to regain the car. Yeah, not the best evening for him there. Okay, oh, Catamies has DNF'd. What's happened to Cat? Well, there we go. 9 drivers remain now. Out of absolutely nowhere, we've lost 3 drivers in the last couple of laps. 5 retirements, so that's going to be solid points for pretty much everybody on the grid now. Michael C is going to be relieved because he was under pressure there, as was Chicken Guy. I don't know what has happened to Catamies. Catamies took the shortcut in the middle section, binned it straight into a wall. That's never good. Blue Flag's picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. But Pagani's not actually catching this battle now between Remco and Dutch. Catamies in here saying, oh Jesus, what happened, Cat? Talk us through it, mate. We could see a Matt Cause podium here tonight, guys. But Stocky looks very, very comfortable now, and he should go on to take the race win, but for any mistakes. He's got Plexits keeping him honest. Done a very, very good job in that McLaren, his Plexits. Remco, bit too far back for Dutch this lap. Forget about Brexit, just watch Plexits. Oh, Grandad, I've missed you in these streams. God, I know you're at home sitting there chuckling away with your brandy as well after that one, aren't you? God's sake. You can see where I get my whip from, can't you, lads? Anyway, right, Remco just 3 tenths behind his Dutch compatriot. I really thought Pagani would catch this battle, considering how much they're fighting. Forget about Pagani. Just right. Okay, let's not do that one. Are we going to see a late surge from Pagani? He's on a couple of lap fresher tyres than these guys ahead of him as well. So towards the end of the race, Pagani is going to be strong. Catamies went a bit too inside of the right hander just for the DRS straight. Then had to take the other road, was too slippery and found a wall. Unlucky. Oh, Remco's touched the back of Dutch. Thankfully no damage. But he should have the move done. Pagani 1.4 behind. But Remco around the outside. Dutch, is he going to be late on the brakes? He certainly is. Remco has to run off track a little bit. Dutch with a little switchback. Little kiss. Remco gets the job done. No, City Posh, I'm very, very unlucky, mate. I've become a bit of a fanboy for you recently, mate. I've been really wishing you well, so let's hope these fortunes turn around. And I think you're going to challenge next season massively in Division 2. Anyway, Dutch tricks. This is the only battle on track. Chicken guy just hasn't had the pace in this second stint to just find the extra couple of attempts a lap to stay with this battle. But nevertheless, I think he'll be fairly happy that he's not lost out too much to Pagani tonight. But we have only got 5 laps to go, and there is literally nothing happening at this moment in time. The Stocky, our race leader, not bad for a debut. He's got himself pole position and he's 4.5 seconds ahead of Plexit, who's very, very comfortable in P2. I will look forward to speaking to him after the race. Hammer time 95, I reckon tyre wear will come into play for the final few laps and Plexit might close the gap. That's a very large possibility. Very large possibility indeed. Yeah, Remco's pulling away from Dutch now. I don't think we're going to see too many position changes now, other than on penalties. And there we go. There is Plexit. Matt Cause will be very happy tonight. Obviously, if anybody that's watching isn't familiar, I'm sure you all are, but there is literally a straight shootout between between Matt Cause and Pagani in Division 2 for the final race of the season in Brazil next week. Matt Cause has, I think it's a 6 or 7 point advantage over Pagani, and it's for the final promotion spot to Division 1, so a lot riding on that race next week. And I think Matt Cause will take a little bit of confidence from this after getting himself a podium. But as it stands, Remco will gain, 4 points on Pagani to make it just 5 points the gap at the top. But I don't believe he's here for the final race of the season next week, so oh, Pagani's closed right up to the back of Dutch. Yeah, Dutch is going to try and go to the end on these tyres, so we may well see a puncture. I think if Pagani can get past Dutch, I will think he'll consider this a success, this race. I can be unlucky, but then sometimes just be a donut, hopefully next season in the new performance. The new performance, well, it will not be the new performance, mate. Performance will not be happening. So something else will be happening, which we are extremely excited about, and I want to tell you, but I can't. Pagani is in DRS range of Dutch. He's had a bit of a poor exit there, but not as bad as what Dutch has had actually. Pagani's in DRS range, so it's going to pull him closer. We could see a battle for the last couple of laps. Hammer time 95. I may need you to quickly pop into the party chat for the podium interview, so you can suggest Stocky to the party for me. If that's alright, mate, and then just jump out afterwards. Let me know if that is okay, my friend. But yeah, he looks comfortable. It's pretty much stayed at 4.4 seconds. The gap for the lead between Stocky and Plexits. That's my goal. Well, I wish you good luck, City Posh, mate. Maybe it was just one lap too late for Pagani. Here they come. To begin lap 31. Pagani is close, but he's just not close enough at this stage. He'll bide his time. Yeah, by Pagani lifting there, it's lost him a lot of time. If he swings himself out wider for that third turn, he'll get some real momentum. Oh, he's gone deep. Pagani's pushing, and you can't fault him. What did I say? Can you, at the end of the race, if I invite you to the podium interview party, can you please suggest Stocky? Because he's going to need to do a podium interview, if he can. Pagani running wide. He's in DRS again. He needs to stay close in this last sector. Dutch with a lock up. Those tyres are going to be screaming at him now. Well, it's all on this final corner for Pagani. Stocky has started the penultimate lap of the race. Yeah, Pagani's had a good exit here. It should be the move done. Oh, Dutch's straight line speed was pretty decent there though. Pagani moves to the outside. Dutch is going to have the inside line. Gives him a little bang. Bit late on the brakes. Oh, there's a bit of wheel banging. There's contact. Pagani gets it done. I think there was going to be contact. I think Dutch closed the door on him a little bit there. Gave him no space to come back on after the move. But Pagani will feel better about that. I've not seen Dutch pick up a penalty though, so I know Pagani's got one at least. But wow, Plexit's 2.5 seconds behind Stocky. This could happen. I mean, it's unlikely, but he's certainly pushed, or pushing, should I say, as Stocky comes round to start the final lap of the race. I don't think we're going to see too many position changes on penalties. Last one. And Dutch tricks coming around the final couple of corners. Don't think he's going to be close enough. I don't think he's going to have DRS on this lap. Oh no, he does get it just. Now Plexits is going to be too far off, I think, but nevertheless, a brilliant effort, and he's bringing that gap down. He's pushing as much as he possibly can. Grandad's in the chat saying, "Come on, Plexits." Plexits 2 seconds behind. I think it's just slipped away from him. This 2.5 is too much. Yeah. The only reason I mean, he's brought it down by 1.2 seconds this lap. It's within DRS range. What's happened to Stocky? What has happened? Has he run out of fuel? What's happened to Stocky? But Plexus is going to come across the line to take the race win. Oh no, he hasn't, because Stocky's got him on penalties. Wow. Drama at the end. He has a puncture. So he got himself a puncture and he still managed to win. Plexus weaves across the line. Dutch picks up a 3-second time penalty on the last lap. So what is that going to do? Remco's going to come home in 4th place. Pagani's going to cross the line in P5. And Dutch is going to stay. Dutch is going to drop to 7th. Chicken Guy's moved up to 6th. Blue flag did get Michael C, so he's going to come around and finish in P8. Penalty providing. And Michael C finishes off what was a thrilling end to the Spanish Grand Prix, but probably not the most exciting one we've had. But nevertheless, we'll have a quick rundown of the final classifications. Grandad, I was on a promise. So the final classifications are as follows. So Stocky picks up the win, no penalties on his debut in FTRL, so pole and a win. Doesn't get much better than that. Plexus comes home in P2 after a magnificent drive in the McLaren. Matt Cors in P3, Remco in P4, Pagani in 5th. The championship leader only loses 2 points out to Remco, so the gap will be 7 points going to the final race of the season. Chicken Guy lost two points out to Pagani, but he's still within a shout, as is Dutch, who finished 7th. Blue flag in 8th, and Michael C, the last of the finishers tonight. Catamy, City Posh, Crest, Hammer Time 95 and Agent Panda round off the Performance Spanish Grand Prix. So I'll just get the guys in now for the podium interviews. So Matt Cors, Plexits, and I'll invite Hammer Time 95 so we can suggest Stocky in for us. Okay, so when the guys join, we'll have a quick chat with them.
Aaron?
Hello, buddy. How are you?
Hello, beautiful man.
Hello.
And Aaron.
And Aaron, thank you, Matt Cors. Yeah, nice one.
What's Hammer Time in
What's Hammer Time in here? He's suggesting Stocky in for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't have him as a friend. Cool. Right, Hammer Time. If you can suggest him, nice one, mate. And then I shall bring him in. Oh, can you do it again for? Oh, you left, so it cancelled. Yeah. Right, it needs to come back in. All right. I do apologise for this, everyone. Once he comes back in. Sorry, mate. Can you invite Stocky and wait till he joins before you leave, because it cancelled the suggestion. Cheers, mate. Nice one. Okay, so let's get Stocky in. And once he joins, we'll get the podium interviews underway and then we'll wrap this up. Here he is. Okay, wicked. Right, so first of all, congratulations to all three of you. Stocky, just before we come to you, mate, can you just double check that you've got your voice on allowed to be shared for the stream, mate?
Jesus, it's been a long time since I've done
this.
Yeah, it should be.
Nice one, mate.
Should be good.
Cool, thank you very much. Right, well, I'll come to you first of all, mate. So, first of all, your first ever race in FTRL, Performance Division. Yeah. So I know you've come in right at the end of the season, but taking pole position, did you expect that tonight?
I thought it might be possible, considering I had one of the fastest cars available, especially for Spain.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I had to actually try and do a fast lap at the end because I had no faith in my first lap, which was proven to be pretty poor.
But no, nevertheless, mate, it turned out to be a pretty decent lap, especially when you was about 1 second clear of the rest of the field at one point. So, no, certainly a good place to start. Obviously, we didn't know your pace, so the only available cars were Red Bull or Williams. So I thought it'd be a little bit harsh to put you in the Williams for your first race. Obviously, Performance League, the numbers are a little bit lower than the normal divisions. It's coming towards the end of its life now. We're not going to be continuing Performance next season. We've got something else going on. But nevertheless, it seemed a bit of a weird one for you in terms of the race because you seemed really comfortable and then Katamis caught you up out of the blue. Did you have a bit of a wobble at one point or what happened?
At the end I was trying to get the super softs to lap 8 because then I thought I might be able to get to the end on the medium. And also I was trying to save the tyres and then he caught me like anything and then then we pitted and I managed to get out in front, then he overtook me again, so then I was just pushing and pushing to get up to him and then I think I had a bit of a decent collision where I think on his screen he didn't touch me, but on my screen I got a rather nasty shunt from the rear.
Yeah.
And almost spun it.
It looked like as you was going around turn 3, I think he had a bit of a better run out of the exit, and then he was running pretty close to you. But I think it was decent because from the way that your car moved, I don't think he actually touched you, but it looked like he just sort of pushed you and it slid you out a little bit.
Yeah.
I know obviously towards the end of the race you ended up, well obviously Katamis ended up retiring anyway, so when you saw him go, did you think like that was it? You just thought total control now to the end?
Yeah, it was definitely an aspect of controlling the race from there, and just mainly for me trying to keep it out of the barriers. I mean, that's been one of my biggest problems since returning to Formula 1 2018 since last year. So it was good to actually be able to keep it out of the walls and get to the end, whether it was on 3 wheels or 4. So I'm happy with it.
I was going to say, was that a puncture at the end? I couldn't see it, but everyone was telling me you had a puncture.
Yeah, I heard it blow in. I think it's turn 9, the fast right, and yeah, I couldn't go anywhere. It was horrible.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I think on the lap before that, Plexits had caught you by about 2 seconds. So I was thinking, Christ, here we go, we could have a race on our hands here. But I wasn't sure what happened. I thought you might have run out of fuel, but then everyone was shouting puncture at me. So,
oh yeah, mate, it was horrible.
But nevertheless, though, crossing the line, obviously Plexit's weaving across the line thinking he's won, and then you jumped him on penalty. So, must have been a good feeling for you, mate, a pole and a win in your first ever race with us.
Yeah, my smile was definitely as wide as my face. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, mate. It was a pleasure to watch you tonight, and welcome to the league. Looking forward to seeing what you can do. Nice one, mate.
Thank you.
Cool. Right, Plexit, on to you, my friend. You are just an absolute machine at the moment, aren't you? What has happened to you this week, eh? Pole and the win in Division 1, and then you come and smash out a P2 in performance in a McLaren. So how was that from your perspective, mate?
I mean, I had a pretty lonely race, to be honest. I didn't really see anyone. It was either the backlight of Red Bull or it was in the beginning Matt course, so in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
pretty straightforward race, only fucking penalty.
Well, the thing is, mate, the way I see things now is, well, the question I want to ask you is obviously you had that race on Monday where you kind of pulled away from everybody as well, which was very, very impressive to do that in Div 1, but then to come into a performance race when obviously you've joined towards the end, do you just sort of see that when you're racing on your own as a bit of an opportunity to just get some laps in, or is it more of a case of just trying to maintain your focus, or how do you kind of approach it when that happens?
I'm just trying to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
And well, I was kind of doing okay, like within 3/10 each lap. So
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, well, you certainly showed your pace tonight, mate, in a McLaren around there. It was a very impressive drive. What was going through your thought when you when you saw Stocky sort of slowing right down at the end of the race? Did you think what did you think had happened?
I thought already his tires, because he pitted at like lap, I don't know, 7 or 8. So
Yeah.
I thought he was actually going to be making a 2-stop maybe, but he pulled off the 1-stop only with a puncture, but he still got first place, so massive congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
I was just thinking, I fucked up with this penalty. Yeah.
Well, I've got to ask you. I know it's not Performance League based, but obviously we're coming down to the final race of the season in Division 1 next week. I know obviously that's where your priorities are. I know obviously Dutch didn't race this Monday, but the fact you got the pole and the win has made it, although a small possibility, it's still a possibility. How much are you going to be sweating it this week to try and perfect that track?
I mean, to be honest, I'm just going to practice like I always do.
Yeah.
Not do anything different, to be honest, because if I oversweat it, I will overdrive probably, and then I'll get penalties and stuff. So
yeah,
just
well,
gotta keep my head cool, and we'll see.
Exactly. I mean, but like I've said many times before, I think you're definitely a future champion with us, and I think it's only for the sake that Dutch has been so consistent this season that is the reason why you've not won it. So I wish you all the best in that race next week, mate. I really do.
Thank you very much.
And well done tonight on your P2 as well, buddy.
Thank you.
Cool. Right. Well, unfortunately, I've got to talk to a Danish person now, so I will put subtitles at the bottom of the screen for everybody. No, Matt calls. Well done, mate. P3.
Yeah.
Was you expecting that tonight in the Haas?
I kind of thought I could have a good result tonight. Actually, Spain, one of my favorite tracks, and obviously being in the Haas, I think that's it's one of the best cars, obviously, in the game. So, yeah, I was kind of thinking I could get a good result tonight, actually.
Yeah, well, we saw you having a bit of a battle at the start. I think obviously it was with Plexus, and I think you had a bit of a scrap with Dutch as well, didn't you, for a little while?
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for a couple of laps, I think it was. Was it a different type of battle for you? Because obviously, I mean, potentially, you could put yourself up to Division 1 next week. I know you're getting a bit of stick and whatever, but you're in a good position to do it. So was it nice to kind of have a bit of a battle with those guys, thinking what you might be able to do next season with them?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think you can compare the pace to each other because obviously Dutch in the Sauber, and yeah, I mean, as we know, he's a good driver, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of difficult for him, I think, when I'm in the Haas. So
yeah,
but yeah, it was nice having a battle with someone else than the regular guys in Division 1, so that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you've been in your fair share of battles this week, because obviously that USA race last night was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So it's definitely testing your sort of mental strength at the moment. Obviously, we don't want to bring up what happened last season in a genuinely negative term, but hopefully we're looking to avoid doing that. What's your thought process going into next week's race in Brazil, mate? Because you've got a 7-point advantage to Pagani, and it's literally one or the other as to who's going up. What's your thought process? Because everyone wants to hear it.
I mean, the only thing you can do is just do the best you can, really. I think you want to be aggressive, but not too aggressive, so that you lose any front wing or whatever. So yeah, I'm not thinking about it at the moment, to be honest. But yeah, just do the best I can. I think that's the best thing I can do. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, one final question for you, mate, before I let you go. Is there a little bit of added pressure? Obviously, what happened last season, is there a little bit of added pressure going into it now? Because you know that you're probably going to get a bit of stick this week, like you always do. But, I mean, is there a little bit of added pressure in your head as well?
I want to say yes, but I also want to say no for some reason. I think if you compare it to last year, I think obviously the gap last year was bigger. So I remember last year, I think, if I can't remember exactly, but I think it was Tim 12, obviously, and he obviously had to win the race last year and I had to retire in order for him to go up to Division 1. So, and this year the gap is a little less. So yeah, but and then still, if you still compare it to last year, Tim 12 was obviously a faster driver than me, and I don't think Pagani on pure pace, I don't think he's quicker than me. So yeah, I think the pressure is the same, really, to be honest.
Cool. Well, nevertheless, mate, having a P3 tonight is going to give you some form of confidence as well going into that. So
yeah,
congratulations to you, mate, and yeah, a big well done. So we'll get this all wrapped up now, gents. But listen, congratulations to all of our podium sitters tonight. It was for the most part, it was quite an exciting race to watch. But nevertheless, that now wraps up FTRL on the F1 side for this week. and we've only got one more week to go. So please come and join us on Monday and Tuesday for Division 1, Division 2 in Brazil, and then we'll be visiting Abu Dhabi next Wednesday for the finale of the Performance Championship, where we are going to see either Pagani, Dutch, Chicken Guy or Remco crowned the Performance Champion for Season 3 of FTRL. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for keeping me company, and we'll see you next week.